Well, talking about I Made It, So Can You, did you ever think when you were touring with the Vandellas in the 60s that, you'd ever live to see the day where there'd be a black president of the United States?
Never, but then I don't see him as a black president. I see him as a person representing America. Now I feel it's united.
Do you think he's doing a good job?
I know he is, because the economy has changed, and we had our best year in 3 years in Detroit economically. They proclaimed it after Christmas that sales were up. Our car manufacturers are standing on their feet after their government perk that they got. And people are starting to feel that life can be happy again. We went through a recession, and no one wanted to call it that. But, foreclosures and the people leaving the city of Detroit, population going from 3 million to 950,000, was proof that there was something wrong. Too many taxes, not enough break for the citizens, and taxes overwhelmingly unfair. As a politician, I was able to change a few of those things and get a few breaks for small businesses, and to the point of having, for instance, I changed an ordinance where a resident, if they want to foreclose on someone and set them out in the street, don't put it on the berm, put it in a garbage can. If people don't come and get their belongings in 2 or 3 days, take it to the junkyard, as opposed to letting kids play in it, let dogs and birds and everything have access to their discarded furniture, things like that. And it was important to me. And I had a lot of influence, mainly because I'm a public figure. I was famous before I got on the council.
And you're still famous now.
Thank God.
And Music Calls Again, you are one of the stars of the Motown event that's going to be touring Australia and New Zealand. Some of your most famous songs you'll be singing, including Dancing in the Street. It's got to be the most covered Motown song of all time, I think. What's your favourite cover of Dancing in the Street?
I could say that Mamas and the Papas, Mama Cass, was my first experience as having someone copy your song. But she did such a good job of it. And I remember standing in a television station with her, and a youngster walked up to 2 of us standing there talking and loving one another, and said, who sang it first? And she nearly jumped on the kid. She says, how dare you not know that it was Martha Reeves and the Vandellas first? So I loved her, and I think she did a good job. But there have been people like Neil Diamond who has done Dancing in the Street, and The Who did a version of it, and David Lee Roth with Van Halen, Brenda Lee recorded it, Dusty Springfield recorded it.
I'm waiting to see if you turn up your nose at any of them. Any you didn't like so much?
I loved all of that. That's only a compliment when somebody like Mick Jagger and Dave Bowie, actually making all that money for the AIDS Foundation and going to number 1 when I didn't. They only claimed me number 2 with that song. I know it went to number 1, but they didn't want to tell me that, I guess. But with them, I remember Mick Jagger in the 60s when we played Ready, Steady, Go. They were just the Rolling Stones at that time, and the Beatles were on the show with the Pretty Things and Lulu and the Lovers. And I remember being there together. So when they remembered my song, it was like, thank you. They remembered me. And I felt it a compliment.
And Martha Reeves, we remember you too. Thanks for joining us on Breakfast.
Well, thank you, Fran. God bless you.
And why don't we have a listen to the original Dancing in the Street? Forget all those cover versions. Let's hear Martha Reeves' version, Dancing in the Street, one of the great songs.